almost like they thought that Vivek and Elon Musk was like bluffing.
If you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress.
It's a shame that they make it seem like they really are out for us, yet at the same time, they're trying to do what they can to line their pockets, be it Republican or Democrat. How are you guys all doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, in which I appreciate you guys doing so. Make sure that if you're following me on YouTube, that you're following me on the platforms you see above and below. Hit this like button for me real quick. Click the like button. That way my content can consistently be recommended to you. It also helps push my content out in the YouTube shadow ban and algorithm world, so I'd appreciate if you did that. If and when you do subscribe to the channel, make sure that that bell notification is clicked. That way it will bring up a tab and you should click on all notifications. That way you will be notified when I do post a video. So I appreciate that if you would do it. So ladies and gentlemen, I have to bring you guys this news because we all know that all of a sudden here we go again with this whole thing of, oh, government is facing a possible shutdown if they can't come to an agreement, blah, 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 blah. We have a bipartisan bill that's going to be in here to do blah, 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 blah. Now, your boy used to hear this talk all the time, and I did not have an interest in it until they start talking about a bipartisan border bill. Like, we're going to go ahead and start taking care of the border. Remember that? The bipartisan bill that Trump, and then where's it coming? He got his MAGA cult to not sign off on the bipartisan bill. And they didn't do it. Okay, they didn't do it. So we are being unburdened by what has been, but he made it much of a burden. And in doing so, bull crap. They made it out like that border bill was about them actually trying to secure the border, when in that border bill, it included more money for Ukraine, money for Taiwan, money for Israel, and little about you and I, Americans. Little about Maui, nothing about Maui, Hawaii, nothing about East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, I haven't forgot about them. It had nothing hardly to do with that border and a lot to do with everybody and everything else. So that just kind of piqued my ears a little bit, my itty bitty ears, into certain things that when they also now for the future reference, as long as I'm here and doing this thing with you guys, I'm going to look into everything they try to pass. I don't care who agrees with it, if it's bipartisan, if it is supposed to be a main theme bill about us, let's see how much of us is supposed to be included in that bill. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, we have Congress them who were drawing up a bill. And then Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy kind of got involved in a little bit. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? Because remember, this bill was supposed to be like a big, huge thing in regards to bringing in a new relief and all this for North Carolina and all that and things like that. But they tried to be a little sneaky here as well. Check this out.
Congress is about to pass a bill that blows away your taxpayer money, but they made it over 1,500 pages long so you wouldn't read it. I did you a favor. I read it for you. It's supposed to be about keeping government operations open and providing disaster relief aid to hurricane victims, which I'm sympathetic to. But if you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. It contains all kinds of special interests and pork funding, including opening up a new stadium in Washington, D.C. It renews the Global Engagement Center, which is a key node of the censorship industrial complex. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it, and that's why they made this a last-minute jam job. The reason I'm co-heading DOGE is I think we need outsiders to bring actual accountability to Washington, D.C. So feel free to call your congressman and let him know how you feel about it.
Hey everybody, so I'm interrupting this real quick just to let you guys all know, those of you that have been asking how can you help and how can you donate towards the children to help children have Christmas, the ones that are involved under the mentorship of me, you can easily do it by donating to my PayPal or the Cash App right up there. And again, let me reiterate this, folks. I don't want you guys to feel any pressure. If you do, great. If you do not, great. I just want you guys to know that that window is open right there for the ones who keep texting me and the ones who keep emailing me. That way everybody else can see it as well. It does not matter because I make sure that the kids get taken care of anyway. But some of my subscribers who have been consistently and have been loyal in donating there, I know you guys always ask me to remind you to do it. So here is your reminder. And everybody else, to the rest of you, no matter what you do, whether you do or don't, I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas. How are y'all doing? Y'all heard all that, right? So let's take a little deeper dive into this right here. Let's look at these pay raises right here. This says pay raises for lawmakers, nearly 4% raise would line the pockets of lawmakers if legislation were to pass. $6,600 extra per year on top of their $174,000 salary already, which we know they are not just making that, they're making way more than that because a lot of them, for some odd reason, seem to become congressmen and they become rich. That salary hasn't been increased since 2009, but Congress created a program in 2022 allowing members of Congress to expense their food and lodging in Washington, D.C. while conducting official business. Some members have been pushing for pay raises for years, arguing that if members aren't paid more, it means that only independently wealthy people will run for Congress. Others are worried about the optics of pay raise with voters. Still, others don't think lawmakers deserve it. The worst part of the CR was the pay raise for members. That money should be earned right now. It is just being taken, says Rep. Tim Burchett, Republican of Tennessee, on X. Now, exempting members from Obamacare. The legislation also includes a provision stipulating that members of Congress do not have to participate in health care system they wrote into law. The Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, because it's so great. It would allow members to opt out of the program and instead participate in the federal employees health benefits program. The lawmaker mandate was a contentious debate during the passage of Obamacare in 2009 and 2010, and for years Republicans tried to overturn the health care bill entirely. While the CR would exempt members from having to buy health care on the Obamacare exchange, it would still require their staff to participate in it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, individuals like myself who do not participate in any of that whatsoever, I get a penalty. Oh no, but it's a tax because I don't participate in none of the health care. Because that means I'm going to stop it right there. Anyway, disaster relief. This was the main thing. We got a bipartisan disaster relief that we're going to throw in there. House Speaker Mike Johnson, whose job has come under renewed threat due to anger over the CR, has said he started with a clean CR plan but needed to add disaster relief for victims of Hurricane Helene and Milton in the southeastern part of the country. Some $100 billion for disaster relief was included, but some conservatives argue it should be paid for by cutting funding in other areas. Rebuilding Maryland's Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I knew this was going to come up because this is something that Biden said, the federal government's going to pay for it. Guys, I don't know if y'all know anything about this, but don't these people that have these bridges have their own insurance should something like this happen? So why is the federal government paying for that? I might be ignorant to stuff like that, but last time I checked, when it comes to things like that, why is the government having to intervene on this? You will pay for this. You want to put money into this bridge, but you don't want to put no money into Maui, Hawaii. You want to put money into this bridge, but you didn't want to put money into East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Year-round higher levels of ethanol sales. I don't even want to get into that. Reauthorization of State Department agency Republicans accused of speech suppression. The State Department agency that Republicans accused of adding Americans and news outlets to a blacklist for things like speculating over C-19 was a Chinese engineered bioweapon would get reauthorization under the bill. That shouldn't even be an issue. Musk previously described the Global Engagement Center as being the worst offender in U.S. government censorship and media manipulation. They are, okay, did it just disappear on me? Okay. He said they are a threat to this whole thing of they are a threat to our democracy, Musk wrote in a subsequent post. Although the bill doesn't specify its budget allocation, a previous Inspector General report showed the agency FY 2020 budget totaled $74.26 million, of which $60 million was appropriated by Congress. Other riders are handed out. The legislation reauthorizes the farm bill for a year, offering $21 billion in disaster relief to farmers and another $10 billion in economic aid. Most conservatives say they aren't necessarily against this, but think it should get a standalone vote and not be attached to the CR, which I agree with that as well. Because, guys, don't forget, y'all remember all those weird things that were going on with the whole chicken farm and all that stuff like that? These chicken farms were just randomly catching on fire, like just crazy things were happening with the chicken farms. All kind of, remember that when the cows, like, thousands of cows were just like dead. We don't know what happened. Anyway, I believe that our farmers definitely should be recompensated, or compensated rather, for those things like that. But the thing that gets me the most is a whole ordeal of, if this was supposed to be about a major relief or something like that, I get we definitely should take care of our ones that are North Carolina. Them, they should definitely be number one on the list. Get that to them ASAP. Taking care of our farmers. But guys, when it came to the Congress saying they wanted the extra $6,000, and then we seen also that some money was going towards this whole thing, which is sad. That, I mean, are they even reading this with the censorship and everything? And what do you guys think about what Vivek Ramaswamy had to say about it? That's awesome that he took the time out to read this bill. We need to have that type of accountability with our elected officials, be it on the Republican side or the Democrat side, to be transparent. Because what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of people don't understand and see that these people are including all these different things in these so-called bills that they say it's a bipartisan bill to provide relief for Hurricane Helene victims. Why wouldn't they want to agree to that? What else is in this? You know what? This is what I don't understand either. I'm just telling y'all. Let's just say if I was Congress, right? You don't think that if they tell me, Ty, a 1,500-page bill just came out, blah, 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 blah. Why isn't there like these people there that can proofread these things? Like, how come you just can't get a team of 15? Like me personally, let's just say this. I'm just giving y'all an example. If I sat there and told some people that I trust that understand literature and things when it comes to politics, if I sat there and said, hey, can you read 300? You read 300, you read 300, you read 300, you read 300. 5 different people. Y'all all read the 300 pages and highlight what y'all see in there that's very important and definitely something that's going to stick out. And I'm talking about some people that really understand what this is about. Why can't they do that? And then I sit there and tell them, hey, I went from doing that, I'm going to give y'all, $200 a piece for reading that. See what I'm saying? But why do we have to keep, why can't things be put in place where they can quit doing things like that? Quit doing this whole thing where you're trying to present things to people the day of or hours before y'all need to vote on, and they're this thick old page full of a whole bunch of filibustering words and things in there. Why are they allowed to do it that way? Shouldn't we be able to put something through legislation where they cannot do that? Give 2 days to read it and go through it. I'm just telling y'all. Anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on this whole thing? Do you think that they're going to be even more pissed? Do you think that Elon and Vivek are holding that much power in Trump as well? Do you think that the way that they're doing this is to actually show that they want to come in showing transparency to the American people, and also to show how crazy these people are trying to implement other things in there that has nothing really to do with a lot of us Americans? Just let me know what y'all thoughts are on it in its entirety, okay? Leave it in the comments below after this video. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, do what you see in that cloud right there. And if you want to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, it's going to be up there. Things that I do as a variety, which is most likely music reactions, will be down here. I am Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.